So our tiny home models start at $55,000 and the largest model is $91,000. So we do have specific models. We have 6 specific models. And then Erik here, we will do a design meeting for you and we will customize those individual models to suit you.
Anything 18 foot to 30 foot.
So our tiny homes, thank you for your question. So our tiny homes range from 200 square feet up to 350 square feet.
And we do have some with bedrooms. And
Yes.
then I don't know if people consider a loft a bedroom. Where
I
the
do.
bed is.
Yes.
That's where the bed is. I guess it's a room. So
Yeah.
we have some that have 3 queens just in the lofts alone.
Yep.
So all your sleeping's done upstairs.
Yes, and when he says 3 queens in just the lofts alone, he means there are 3 different lofts. So each bed has its own area and own bedroom. So Zion's Tiny Homes is located in St. George, Utah, and we ship our tiny houses nationwide. For local deliveries, the delivery is free, and local is defined as 40 miles around our vicinity. St. George actually opened up second dwellings on their property, so a lot of people are buying our tiny homes and using them as second dwellings.
Which is pretty nice if you have some in-laws staying in your house.
Yeah.
You can put them outside the house.
If you have
Yeah.
what?
He said in-laws.
In-law.
You don't have to share walls.
I love my in-laws, but I don't know if I'd want them living in my backyard. So the tiny home is completely built from scratch. We have everything built, made for our tiny homes, including the trailers, the tires, the axles, everything's made for us. So everything is from start to finish, made from scratch. Minus the
I
fact
cut
that
the trees myself
no,
and turn them into
he
metal
doesn't.
studs.
We don't make our own lumber.
Oh.
We actually use mostly metal studs.
That's true.
That was a tongue twister right there.
I'm trying to think if there's anything not custom. And
No.
there really isn't.
No.
We even did one that had the old 50s push button light
Yes,
switches.
we did.
Because that's what
Yes.
they wanted. So
Yeah.
if you can think of it, she kills me because I don't say no often. When I should. I'm a yes man.
I'm the numbers person, the person working behind the scenes, and he's the guy that's like, I really want to make the customer happy, and he works one-on-one with the customers. He's really awesome like that. But I then have to balance the budget because if we quote you a price, we're not going to change that price unless it's very drastic of a change order. We do finance. We actually are RVIA certified, so you can get RV loans from any bank to buy our tiny homes. We're listed in NADA, and we've worked with maybe 10 banks to do loans. We work with Liberty Bank of Utah. We work with Operation Tiny House to help our buyers who are living in it actually get a grant for a percentage of their down payment for up to $15,000 towards their tiny home. And this is a grant, so it's free. Yes, we do plan on opening a second resort. We don't know how soon this is, but I did just today get the word that we have acquired our land. So they accepted our bid kind of on, so they accepted our bid on the land to purchase, to do a tiny home community where you buy your land and the tiny home, and this is going to be solar power. He's staring at me.
I'm just learning about this myself. So.
Well, this is new. This is new. This has been my plan this whole time, but I literally just walked in from a B&I meeting, got off the phone, and he, with my real estate agent, he was like, you guys got it. So I'm super excited. Washington County they have lowered the minimum square footage for a single dwelling family home. So that made our tiny house subdivision possible. And we're super excited because this is a subdivision that's going to use water recycling. So the water that goes in your shower is actually going to be flushing your toilet after it's filtered. Don't worry, you're not going to see any hairs. And you're also, that's a question people have. Yeah. So you're also going to be able to water your lawns and stuff like that, all with recycled gray water. So it's not black water. This is not water that you've pooped or peed in or done dishes with. This is just your shower water. This will save about 30 gallons a day per person. That's huge for our water impact, and we should be doing more things like this. We are actually working on an engineer to get a system designed that we can sell. So more people will be able to use this in their tiny homes, and
That's
it's
awesome.
huge.
I love learning about this job every day.
It's so exciting, right?
So wait, I'm going to ask questions now.
Yeah, go for it.
A customer will buy their home,
Yes.
lease the lot. Is that how this will work?
No. You will own your lot. This will be your own little slice of heaven. You're not going to have to deal with anybody, no lot rent, no nothing. So the price point that we're trying to reach is $135,000, and that is with the lot and the tiny house. So that's your own little piece of heaven in Utah, Washington County, close to Hurricane. You'll be able to have transportation, jobs close by, all the good things.
That's pretty awesome. I'm psyched about that.
I know. I've been trying to do this for years, and it's finally happening. So I am in a little bit of a mood. I'm obviously pretty excited. So what other questions you got?
That's awesome.
Nothing?
I'm really psyched about that. That's all I'm thinking about now. It's like,
It's the tiny home community. I'm
do you
so
know how
happy.
many lots, or roughly?
I don't. So that's one thing that I have to go to the planning commission to do. I did just attend a planning commission this morning, and that was a lot about them taking away like Airbnbs and limiting and stuff like that. So it wasn't really what I was hoping it would be about. But the next planning commission I go to, we're actually gonna be on the docket, and we're gonna be talking about how many tiny homes we can fit on the 20 acres that we acquired.
20 acres.
Yeah, it's
huge.
pretty nice. So we're going to be acquiring 20 acres to build our tiny homes on it. Now I wanted to shoot for 2,000 square foot lots, so you still have a nice sized yard and plenty of room to do gardening and all that good stuff. Because if you think about it, a tiny home is only about 300 to 400 square feet. So if you have 2,000 square feet of a yard, that's a lot of space to do your gardening, parking, all that good stuff, and it's yours. Yes, so we do rooftop decks. Okay, for the nightly rentals, I kind of dissuade people from doing that.
We didn't even talk about our resort on here yet.
I know, we haven't even talked about our resort, so everyone's not even understanding what we're talking about. We do nightly rental resorts with our tiny houses, where you can buy our tiny houses and then we rent them out nightly for you. And we charge 30% like all vacation nightly rental management companies, but we do so much more, and we do this so normal people can have a vacation nightly rental source of income, and this uplifts a lot of families, and it's really amazing for them. But yes, rooftop decks are an option. I do not recommend them for nightly rentals.
I love them.
He loves them. I do not recommend it simply because the fact that it's a liability risk. Like, you're gonna have people who aren't really sure what they're doing going up and down that ladder. They can fall off the rails. It's just a liability that I personally don't like. So that's my personal little thing.
Oh, where is it?
Yeah, so it's actually located in Apple Valley, Utah. And then we also have a second off-grid location that teaches you how to live more self-sustaining. So it has solar, like composting toilets, all the nice things that teach you how to live more self-sustaining. And it makes people realize if they can stay in a tiny or live in a tiny home that's off-grid, because I get that a lot. A lot of our customers are like, I just want to buy a little piece of land, park my tiny home there. I don't want to have to deal with hooking it up to utilities. This is a nice place that you can try it out and see, because we do have freshwater tanks, we have the composting toilets, and we have the solar system. So it's nice to where you can try it out before you buy it. It is near Zion's National Park. It's about a 45-minute drive if you do not have four-wheel drive. If you have four-wheel drive, it's about a 30-minute drive.
And way more fun. Yeah, and we do UTV rides.
Yes,
right?
we do. And I do horseback tours as well, like in person. I love my horses. They're absolutely amazing. I am actually pretty sore because I just did one last night, so I'm a little sore from my horse ride. Let's see.
Hey, I'm an idiot. What's the difference between
Okay, so gray water is actually water that is technically reusable because you've only... they define it as gray, like it's not gonna poison you and stuff like that. So pretty much just your shower
And it's
water.
better if you use biodegradable soaps.
Exactly. Black water, though, that's where food particles, urine or feces go. That's your black water.
That we can't recycle yet.
Yes, you do get to pick all the colors inside and outside your tiny house. We do a design meeting, so you can pick the layout of your kitchen. You can pick all kinds of things. Most of our tiny houses are different because we do our design meetings, and we change something in every single model. So it's not cookie cutter. We're not prefabbing these. This is built for you.
My biggest thing is I want someone to walk into your home and think, wow, that's totally you. Like, we had one woman, and so I like to ask hobbies because I think that's an important thing, right? And so she liked plants and all this other stuff. And so we put these huge windowsills in, and I went and saw hers after she had been living in it for a while, and that place was gorgeous. I mean, it was her. Like, and that's how your home should be. People should walk in and know that it's yours.
This is one thing I absolutely love about Erik. He'll get to know the customer, and then he'll put surprises in their tiny house without even talking to them. And most of the time, I would say 98% of the time, the tiny home owner is surprised and they absolutely love it. And it was something they didn't even think of, but it was catered to them, and it made them feel like we actually care about them. And we do. We care a lot about our customers. And Erik goes above and beyond to make sure that they know it.
Oh, thanks. That was pretty nice.
You're welcome. That's his one for the week.
I have so many wooden nickels.
Yeah.
Well, because we're all custom and we're booked out for so far, I wished one of our clients would come in and want a handicapped accessible one, because that would be so fun. Yeah, I come from the East Coast where I did with the lower cabinets, and it was really fun because it's totally rethought out.
Yes. The only issue that I can see with that is you do need such a large bathroom when you do it disabled. So the main living area is going to be smaller. And then on top of that, you have to have a bottom bedroom. So you have two things going against you where you need a larger bathroom and also a bottom living room area. So that would have to be a 30-footer to be comfortable and to have wide enough doorways. That's really important.
And a ramp.
Yes. But
It's
yes,
totally
we could
doable.
build one, and we would be very happy to do so.
I think that would be really fun, actually.
Yeah.
Especially to have at the resort.
If you would like to know more about us, we do some crazy things. You can check it out at Meet the McGregors on YouTube or Zion's Tiny Homes on YouTube as well. We do a lot of really fun, crazy things, and we like to be in front of the camera. Well, okay, I like to be in front of the camera. Erik, maybe not so much, but it is pretty fun. We do banter quite a bit because obviously we are from opposite sides of realms, right? But we get along great. We really like each other, and we love our company. And Erik has just become a partner, so we're super excited. And yeah, so what other questions you got? Let's see.
How long does it take to build a tiny house?
It's usually about 5 weeks if materials are running. The last year and a half, every contractor out there knows, like, finding materials have been really rough, so we've had to make a few changes, and sometimes you've been falling behind. It's been a rough year and a half to stay on schedule.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think every contractor knows that, and probably everybody in every industry has something that they're having trouble getting.
Yes.
But we try to stick to that.
To answer your question, the fire, like how safe are tiny house, like fire-wise? They are pretty safe. We do use metal studs, like I said before. We did have a client who reran their propane lines to their water heater. They did not cap off their previous propane line, which resulted in a fire in the back of their tiny house. This was not covered under warranty, obviously, because they did different work to their tiny home that we didn't do. But even though it wasn't covered under warranty, we still took it back to our warehouse and we fixed it. It was a pretty big fire, but it only cost about $1,500 to completely redo the back end of their tiny house. That's how much we care about our customers. They are really fire safe, and they have fire extinguishers in every single tiny house. So if something does happen, it's put out very fast.
Yeah. And we have to follow every rule from
Exactly.
RVIA. It's just as safe as every other RV.
Yeah, if not safer.
Yeah, let's go with safer. It's
Yeah,
safer.
exactly.
Take my word for it. It's safer.
Well, I can say this. Even customers that don't have the greatest experience. We always make them happy in the end. If something goes wrong, like in the design process or anything like that, we always make it right, and we do cherish our customers. That's why you will never find a single bad review about us, because we bend over backwards for our customers.
We have a crew of 5 now.
Yeah.
And then we also have, we don't employ licensed plumber, electrician. Those are subbed out. So probably about 7
Yes.
people
Yeah.
working on each one.
And that's another difference with us is on the hard things, we're always going to make sure a licensed professional is going to do it. We're not over here like handymanning it, trying to make it work and jimmy rigging things. A licensed professional is involved at every crucial step, like plumbing, electrical. And then everything else is inspected by RVIA. So everything is to the book.
I'm from the East. I say jerry rig.
Oh,
That's the only difference.
what did I say?
Jimmy rig? We use Jerry. Maybe we use Jimmy too.
I think I probably just said the wrong thing.
No. That's something you guys say out here.
Is my face red on camera? Because it did just turn red in real life, because that was
stinking hot.
pretty funny. It's really hot in here. Oh. So this is actually one of our models that's been in our bay because we had to special order black windows for the owner. And oh man,
They were back-ordered and
They were
back-ordered.
back-ordered. But now they're in, and we're pushing pretty hard to get it out by Thursday, right, Eric?
Yep.
Okay. And this tiny home in our other bay is actually going to be pulled out tonight or tomorrow morning.
First thing in the morning.
First thing in the morning.
Yep.
So we're pretty excited. So we actually got into building tiny houses to give back. We did a lot of real estate flips and investment properties, and we actually wanted to get into like live-in communities, and then we fought the city for about 4 years, and now we finally they only would let us do nightly rentals, but now that we're doing a county thing, we're excited to do live-in tiny houses. So that's kind of our backstory of how we got into building tiny houses. Really, it's been a passion of mine for about 10 years now. I've been just in love with tiny homes. Our company's been around for about 5 years now.
And I used to live in New Hampshire in a tiny home I built off-grid, about a half mile out into the woods. Then I fell in love with someone out here, and on the internet, took 2 minutes to find this place, and they hired me. That worked out really well.
It was a godsend, honestly. I think we found, what was it, Indeed? Maybe.
No, you want to know how I actually found this?
Yeah.
Weirdest thing. I was eating my lunch, big grinder,
I've never heard this. Okay.
and I knew I had to move here. And I just went on Google and typed in St. George job. And you were the second thing that came up. And it said
Aw.
Zion's Tiny Home. I went, that's going to be it. And I had a flight planned for 2 days later and had my interview.
So when I looked through his resume, he was actually building tree houses. Like, how amazing is that? So I was like, instantly, yes, I like you as long as you're cool and you're not going to be a stick in the mud, because we like to joke around and have fun when we're building.
Stick in the mugs and joke around. I can.
I didn't say you were a stick in the mud.
No,
I said
but
you
I
were
am
not.
saying I can be a stick
Oh
in
my
the mud.
gosh.
You're building tree houses?
Yeah, he was building
did.
tree houses.
I built
He
a
was
nice
in a
one.
magazine.
But to be fair, like, it was the guy I worked with. Like, he taught me so much, and he's one of the most like best woodworkers I know. And I just happened to live with him. I think that's how he asked me. So it was like after work, because I was welding at the time. I ended up taking a lot of time off of work, but like I got to work on that, and it ended up in New Hampshire Home Magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty nice.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It wasn't cooler than the one we did in the Pride of Homes, though. Just saying. Because that one was pretty sweet.
That was pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Solar power.
Yes. Yes, they do. So we have 3 different options for solar power. Different size battery banks. The most expensive solar system that we do is $8,000, which is pretty hefty, but it actually comes with your backup generators, transfer switches, all your solar powers, like everything that you need. And it even has a detachable solar array, so you can actually put it on the property far away from your tiny home and still hook it up.
And on my end, I put a nice pipe down into the electrical box, so it's not cords on the outside of your house.
Exactly.
I don't like cords. Where do we see our company in 5 years?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So we're actually in the process of getting a 4-bay warehouse, and we will be shipping them nationwide still, but I want to branch off and do more live-in communities to help the public and help those in need. And because really first-time home buyership is sinking, unfortunately. Like, millennials don't really want to buy a home, and I feel like it's because they've been swayed in a direction that home ownership is a trap and a death sentence, when it's really not, especially if it's a tiny house located on your own little piece of heaven. Like, who's going to harass you? It's kind of perfect in my mind. So
I think it's going to go crazy. Like, I've been here just over 2 years, and I showed up and it was just this one bay that we're in now.
yeah.
A year went by, we have 2 bays. Now we're building a building with 4 bays, so like,
Yeah.
what's going to happen in 5 years? I don't know. We'll own St. George by then. Everybody will be in a tiny home.
Yeah, so we build 2 tiny homes in a month currently, but once we move into our 4-bay warehouse, we will be able to build 3 to 4. We don't want to lose quality while we're building. We are going to have to hire some more employees to go the whole distance and do 4 at a time. So quality is always our first, priority.
So I gotta know, how have you liked Southern Utah, though?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I
'Cause you
love
moved
it.
here from the other side of the planet,
Yeah.
side of the
Yeah.
country.
And I thought I'd die in New Hampshire, but I do love it here. And actually, when she was talking about the new lot, and she kept saying "slice of heaven," like,
Yes.
I should have butt in and just said, like, St. George is it's heaven. It gets a little warm, but
It does. That's why Apple
But-
Valley is awesome.
Apple Valley's like the perfect temperature. Today was perfect temperature, and
Yeah.
I don't know. And I love the snow, but I don't have to own a shovel, which is pretty nice now. And I can drive a half an hour and go snowboarding or,
Anything you want.
Yeah, it is. It's a perfect town.
So we are not currently hiring. Once we get into our 4-bay warehouse in about 4 to 6 months, they're building it now. That's when we'll start hiring.
I like to break the whole team up into crews, a framing crew, a finish crew. Each crew has members that can cross over easy enough.
Yes.
But when I do an interview, it's usually for a specific position. The last time I was looking for a framer, but a guy came in who was a cabinet builder.
And we snagged him.
Yeah, and now he's framing, but we just moved our cabinet builder to the resort, so now he gets his job. But what I really look for is if you're gonna fit the team. Like,
Exactly.
to me, that's
That's
probably
most
the
of it.
most. Yeah, that's the most important part.
Yeah, exactly. So when we say the team, we actually treat all of our employees like their family. We always promote from within. That's why he said I stole our cabinet guy. He is now the manager of the resort, so he got a pretty large pay increase and he got a home. So we treat our employees really well, and that's kind of all I have to say about that. They become family, pretty much.
It is family.
We do paintballing, we do dinners.
Family
and-
movie night at my house.
Oh yeah, lots of stuff. So we want someone that not only can work really well, but actually fit in with the family.
So you make all your cabinets custom.
Yep.
Yes.
We just started doing that just a few months ago, because when I was talking about everything getting back ordered, by the time someone would have their idea for their kitchen, I couldn't get it built in the time. So the guy that just moved, he came from a cabinet company to here, and we started building all our own cabinets,
Yes.
which made it was so much easier, because now we could get way more custom. Like, if you want all your toe kicks, which is a waste of space in most homes, now we can put drawers and stuff, where to get a cabinet shop to do that was astronomical.
Yeah, exactly. And they look really awesome. I love our cabinets.
Yeah, and we get to play around with them a little bit, so it's fun. One thing I see, and I see it online, and I see it when customers come in and they want all this. They want a lot of space in their loft, and I don't blame them. You want to be able to sit in bed. But as soon as I ask them, do you want your head to hit the roof of your bathroom that's maybe below it? They say, well, no. So we put in like a 7-foot high bathroom. So our rain head, which is, I don't know, what do they call it? That's pretty Gucci. Like with the rain head, and by the time they're laying in bed with a massive skylight over their head, they don't even realize they've lost all that headroom for the loft where they're sleeping anyway.
Yeah. Well, you can still sit up in all of our lofts.
Yeah, you can sit up because of the 3x3 skylight that's over your head, which those are pretty sweet too.
So it looks like going into sales, what advice would you give to someone who wants to live in a tiny home?
It's easier than you think, coming from someone that used to live in
It is. So my advice was get hookups. Unless you know how to work a generator, unless you know your solar system in and out, get hookups. Be prepared to deal with your own feces and urine if you don't have hookups. And I think that's the most common misconception, where they're wanting to do composting toilets and stuff, but they don't realize composting toilets doesn't mean it's out of sight, out of mind. You have to dump it. You have to deal with the feces and urine. So if you're squeamish, get hookups. Tiny homes can be an amazing residence, but you have to have hookups if you're squeamish, for sure. I've changed other people's urine and feces before. In the first year of business, we cleaned all the tiny homes ourselves. So I had to deal with those composting toilets, and it really was gross. It made my stomach turn a little bit. Be prepared to deal with that type of stuff. As far as COVID impacted our business quite a bit. We've never went negative in our company just because I'm pretty good at balancing the books. So what we did was we kind of foresaw COVID and we bought ahead of time. So the things that we had to buy and order were windows and our steel frames, and not frames, but the steel beams and stuff that we use, and our trailer axles. We pre-ordered, I think, 2 or 3 tiny homes worth of that stuff when things started slowing down. So that's how we mitigated COVID for us. But we also didn't have too many of our employees catch COVID. So we were very lucky about that. I've gotten COVID twice, but whenever I get sick, I just stay home. So that's how we mitigated COVID impacting our company.
And I made a deal with the devil. I don't get sick ever. It's a lie.
So you can pick if your tiny house has a bathroom or a shower. That's done in the design process. But yes, we do have some that have clawfoot bathtubs that are really awesome. And then we also have others that have really big, nice, 4-foot showers that you walk into.
Well, one thing about our resort,
they
make us take the tires off. I don't understand laws, but that's what they say. Tires have to come off for some reason. And we prop them up and level it onto cinder blocks.
So that would be called a post and beam foundation. So it does qualify as a foundation. So it's now kind of like a mobile home unit that you've converted, because a mobile home can also have wheels and be on a trailer and be pulled down the street as well. So when you do a post and beam foundation, that is considered on a foundation. So it's pretty easy.
Do we know why though?
I do know why, but I don't really want to talk about it.
Okay. I don't know.
So when I fought with the city for 4 years, the current mayor wanted to do an RV park down the street from us. And his biggest thing was not allowing us to do RVs, whereas our tiny houses are legal RVs. So he had to tell us, if you're going to put them there, they can't move ever, and you have to take them off the wheels. And that's what we had to do. We had to do post and beam foundations for our tiny houses.
But the tires can go back on and they were away. Take the wheels off and skirt the bottom.
Easy to put them back on.
Yes.
I mean, it must be.
It is pretty easy. The only downside is that we would have to remove the skirting. So our skirting that we'd use is actually metal skirting, so it matches the siding of the tiny houses.
And that'd be a little bit awesome. Because you see, when you put these things there, you're kind of thinking of this.
The resort, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're going to stay there, exactly.
But one I built 2 years ago is sitting up in Salt Lake on its tires, and it's totally fine. Hasn't even shifted at all.
If you want to watch us be crazy and have a fun time and learn a lot about tiny houses, you can follow Zion's Tiny Homes on YouTube and meet the McGregors, which is my family and all the craziness that we go through. Owning 2 tiny home companies, you can kind of watch us juggle home life with our children and managing 2 businesses at once.
Because if your life doesn't have enough drama in it, watch her. Right?
I hate drama, but it just
good
finds
TV
me.
right
It
there.
really does. The more I help people, the more drama happens.
Yeah.
So I would say the average cost is about $75,000 to buy and furnish a tiny house. Yeah, so if you wanted to do this, I would say reach out to us and do some background work. Look up our company and see if working with us is the best case scenario. And it's a $1,500 deposit to get in our build line. We actually have 30 tiny houses on our build line right now, so it's a little bit of a wait, but it's worth the wait.
And make a Pinterest board.
Yes,
That
please.
helps a design meeting so
It really
so
does.
much.
If you come to the design meeting already knowing what you want, then we can convince you why you don't want those things. And
That is one thing that happens a lot. Well, what
No,
happens is
it's
what you see on the internet. Most of them are not RVIA
certified.
So they're huge. They're wide. They might be 16 feet tall, and people will come and say, "Well, I want all these things in." So that's one downfall maybe for you. But being RVIA certified is probably
It's great.
a bigger perk.
Okay,
Bye.
bye guys.
Boy.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching our video. If you're like me and you love tiny houses and you want to learn more, follow us on YouTube at Zion's Tiny Homes. If you want to learn more about me and my family and see behind the scenes, follow us on YouTube at Meet the McGregors.